Hello plant friends, my name is Jimmy. I'm a doctor and tropical plant hobbyist in LA, and this channel is about plants. So this series is on SoCal Tropics. They are a husband and wife duo in San Diego, California. They have 17 years experience growing, collecting, selling plants. 17 years. That's before the plant craze, before the aroid craze, before the social media craze. They've seen it and done it all. It was a privilege and a pleasure going to their place and sharing their knowledge and passion and plans with you guys. Without further ado, let's get on with the show. Oh, this is one of my favorite Syngoniums, the chia pens. Yeah, chia pens.
I love it.
Okay, let's see if I can get a... So these are high ceilings. 10, 12 foot ceiling, and this is your chia pens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, this is a really good...
It doesn't get a lot of light. I just added the LEDs recently because we're going into the winter, but it just gets normal light.
I love this. I love this.
And their leaves get as big as a trash can.
You know what? Like, it doesn't look like your typical what you would expect from a Syngonium.
No.
Yeah, I love this guy. There's like dark and a little less. I think there's like it's almost like some hues of blue and purple in their leaves.
It's like an iridescence, a sheen
Yeah.
to the leaf. I love it.
Yeah, this is. Whew. Yeah, this is the big. Oh, obviously the biggest one Oh my god! Yeah, this is a good one. You have like a huge pot in this one. This is a...
We don't want to transplant it anytime soon.
And that's the other misconception out there. People say, well, I've got this small plant. What size pot should I use?
Yes, there's a lot of people saying that if you get a pot that's too big for the root ball, then you're more likely to have like root rot. Or...
I've taken little teeny plants, put them in the 24-inch boxes. It's a matter of how you take care of it and water it.
So start with the pot that you love and a size that your home or your particular room can handle. And you can put that little plant in that bigger pot, and it's going to do fine. Just get it in that proper mix, the proper lighting, the proper watering, and it's fine. You don't need to start with a super tiny pot and then gradually go up. You don't need to do that. No.
Planet Earth is the world's largest pot.
Let me see if I can check your bedroom again. So definitely some windows. What do you guys do for air circulation? Do you guys keep the fan on to open the windows? What do you guys...
It depends on what we want for us.
Okay, got it. All right. So nothing for the plants. Okay.
Yeah, nothing.
They live in what we live in.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I like this guy. The Variegated Monstera.
Yes, I have the white and the yellow.
Yeah.
They're mixed through there.
Yeah. It's a very easy...
I love it.
Easy plant. The thickness of the vines tell me it's like a very mature specimen. Yeah, it's a good one. I think it's a good beginning plant for people. I think it's like very easy to take care of.
It is.
It's actually gone down in price quite a bit too compared to when they first were selling them. It's just a fraction of what they were worth at one time. At one time you did a small starter plant for over $100.
Wow.
Now you can get them for
$30-40 bucks. Yeah.
So.
Wow, I didn't know they were that expensive.
Oh, they were.
That's one plant that's gone down in price.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Saturated the market a bit more, and everybody got their cravings satisfied there with it.
And then so more elbows. Oh yeah. Yeah, this one's I like this one where it's like you have a good amount of. Is this a different?
2 stems.
This is 2 stems. Okay.
It's coming off the same main stem, but one went green and one went variegated.
Yes.
And instead, most people would have cut the green away, but we let it intertwine. So now I have them, intertwining as they grow together. So it makes the variegation pop. So I kept that green.
Oh, I think it also keeping that green also helps your overall plant grow faster.
It does.
Yes. So I like this one. Yeah, this is your burn guarantee.
It's gonna happen.
Eventually, you can see the top leaves. They don't have that issue yet, but with time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is. For some reason, I just like filming like the burnt leaves, so people just don't like freak out when they when
it's
they're
just,
around.
it's part of the
They
plant.
feel better about
They put you at ease. It's like, okay, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
This is just what the plant does.
Yeah. Do you guys use any fertilizers?
I just use a super diluted, every time I water them, I use a super diluted all-purpose Miracle Grow.
Yeah, the blue stuff?
Water soluble.
Is it yeah, I use that blue stuff too. Just because it's
Like
cheap.
I said, once again, rocket science.
Yeah.
It works.
So-
If something works, I don't mess with it.
Yeah. So once every time you water, so that's like once a month. Right?
Yeah.
Super diluted. Okay. That's your fertilizer for everything. It seems.
Yeah, all species.
I think a lot more people could benefit from just like realizing that, yeah, you don't need a super scientific or specific regimen per individual plant, because that adds up when you have a lot of plants.
Sure.
But,
You can think of it this way too. When you get a leaf that's too white, and there's some other green leaves on the plant, that the white stem or the white leaves are more of a parasitic growth to it at that point, because it's not providing the nutrients to the rest of the plant. The rest of the plant has to provide for it. So when you take cuttings, you separate it from that part of the plant that has a lot of the green that's keeping it alive, it will slowly die.
Yes.
Given a long period of time, just like this slow browning on even the marbled
Yeah.
leaves, the whiter parts on it.
I noticed a lot of Japan growers are now mass producing these, and I'm noticing a lot of white in the stem. And I'm just curious to see through the years how they're going to mature as plants.
Yeah.
Are they going to go all white and brown out?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just curious because I'm not even looking at the leaves per se. I'm looking at that stem.
The
And if
stem.
you look at all the stems on those pictures, a lot of white.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think they're appealing to the market. The market right now is just like the whiter, the better. And all it takes is like a few people to say like, "Oh, it'll survive," and they're like, "Okay," and then
everybody wants-
then everyone will just believe it
They're likely
regardless.
to make it through shipping without browning.
I'm just concerned that eventually they're just going to lose the chlorophyll and those plants aren't going to flourish and be able to grow into a nice specimen.
Yeah. So what Jack and Christy were referring to in this video is commonly referred to as the white curse. Right? So for those who have not heard that term before, it refers to usually a variegated monstera, but I guess, any variegated plant it would apply to, is when the variegated plant gets more and more variegated over time. Okay, so it gets more yellow or white or whatever color the variegation is, and it's losing its green. It's losing the parts that is, it has the chlorophyll that is providing the energy for the plant. Okay, that it's basically the opposite of reversion, right? When we're talking about variegated plants reverting, we're talking about them losing their variegation and heading towards a direction where, they're reverting back to their unvariegated or non-variegated state. I definitely understand Christy's concern that nowadays people are just, they're really drawn to plants that are overly white, right? And I totally understand why a lot of buyers are doing that, because you always hear about reversion, right? I think that's like the biggest fear for people, is that when they buy a variegated plant and then over time it reverts to a non-variegated plant, right? It's like you're spending all this money for variegation and then you lose it. So that's a huge concern that people have. It's all over social media, forums, Facebook, Instagram. Like everyone's talking about that. So I think because it's so talked about, I think a lot more buyers are leaning towards plants that are overly white, right? They're thinking that, well, if the general trend is for these variegated plants to revert, then why don't I buy a plant that's overly white, and then that way, if it gets less white and more green and it reverts, I'm still relatively safe. So I think that the common mentality behind buying plants that are overly white, in addition to personal preference, right? Some people like plants that are more and more white. Besides personal preference, I think there's also a safety and precautionary aspect to it for some buyers. I think that thought process and that caution is very understandable. The reason why that's advised against is because your plant or most variegated, I wouldn't say most, I guess I would say, specifically to variegated monstera, the plant really is like equally likely to revert and also equally likely to get towards, the white curse. So what you really, really want is you really want a plant that, you start off like right or close to the middle. Ideally like 50%, variegation. If not, it's really hard to find 50-50, right? So, 40 to 60% variegation, I think is a very, very safe place to be. Because that way, you can lean a little this way and lean a little this way, but, either way, you'll still have more than enough chlorophyll to sustain good growth. The greener you are, yes, there's a higher risk of reversion, but greener plants also grow faster, right? They have more chlorophyll, and they grow faster. You'll have usually more. I find that usually when you have a greener plant, it's usually a more enjoyable plant because you're not really dealing with as much leaf burn, and then again, the plant grows faster, so you'll have more leaves to enjoy usually. If you're leaning towards the white, just know that yes, there's it looks, the white plants or the plants with more variegation, they look absolutely gorgeous. But know that the more white you get, usually you have less chlorophyll, a slower growing plant relative to its size and number of leaves and all that. And also, the more white parts you have, those parts are generally more sensitive, so you're dealing with burn, leaf burn more often, especially as the leaves age over time. I think nowadays the pendulum of preference, is, I think it's very, very much on this I want a very white plant. So I think that the pendulum is really, really over here, and it sort of needs to kind of go back towards the midline, I think. My impression is that more and more people are talking about the white curse, and I think more and more people are, promoting a plant that's, in the middle, 50-50, green and white or whatever color variegation. And I think that it's, that knowledge and this preference to have a plant that's really towards the middle is being proliferated more. So I'm hoping that information, gets to more buyers. I like how you have more common plants over
sure.
here. This is your regular peace lily.
Yes.
Right,
Regular.
which is fun. I think that was one of my first plants. This is your regular Stanleyana. What's this one over here? I'm not very familiar with this one.
It's a Camodora. Camodora sp. I don't know what species. They look. Several
It looks
look
really
just
cool.
like that when they're young, and it was not labeled seed when I got it. So.
And then this one is a pedatum, right?
Yeah. Pedatum or lacetarum or
whatever.
They have different names out there.
Oh yeah. This is a cute one. I like this one.
It's huge.
Yeah, you have.
That's our mother stock. That's where the cuttings come from.
Oh my gosh.
Used to have one that was probably about, I'd say about 12 feet long.
Wow. And then let me see. This one is what is this one? This one is.
It's a Dracaena. That's
Dracaena.
It's an oddball sport.
Yeah, it does look a little bit.
You don't typically see them. They do not specifically grown to look like that.
Yeah, I'm like, it's an odd looking plant. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be it for this episode. Please like, subscribe, comment if you enjoy the content, and also definitely check out SoCal Tropics, their Instagram and eBay store. All right, till next time, happy planting.